Well, good evening, everyone. Glad you are here. Welcome to Gibson's Learn to Master Guitar Live. We are very excited to have. It's already been a great night here in the production studio here in Nashville. We're excited to have Thom Bresh with us. Tom, thank you so much for being a part of our...
Oh, it's great to be here.
For those of you who are new to how this little party works on Tuesday nights, we're going to give away some things, and in order to be a part of our giveaways, tonight we're giving away a guitar, and it comes with a whole acoustic guitar, comes with an amp and cables and all kinds of stuff like that. We're giving away one of the guitar courses, and then we're also giving away one of Tom's DVDs on learning how to play Travis-style guitar. So we're excited about that. If you want to be a part of those giveaways, you need to be logged into us at ustream.tv and be logged into the chat so that we can get in contact with you and choose one of your names, stuff like that. So that's enough of the announcements. Let's go ahead and get started.
Can I give away like a map of the interstates showing where the police hide?
Yes.
That's a good present, I'll tell you right
that would
now.
be a good one. That would be a good one.
This being Nashville, like 5 gallons of homemade gravy, something like that.
All of the great things that we need to give away. Yeah,
Sure.
definitely. Tom,
Sorry.
can you play us something?
No. Yeah, let me render you one here. It has lyrics, you want it?
I'll let you sing if you'd like to.
French girls say oui, oui. That's all I've got so far.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Tonight we're going to be talking about Travis picking, and I can't think of a better person to to describe this than Tom. Tom is Merle Travis's son, and just the best Travis picking guitar player I know of.
That's a good way to get out of it. Yeah, it's a good style. I mean, so much is based off of that style.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis, of course, he got it. He was a shy sort of a character, and when he was a kid, he was raised around the coal mines of Kentucky, and there was a guy named Mose Rager who was a barber, and Ike Everly, who was the Everly brothers' father.
Yeah.
To Travis, he said the Everly brothers were Phil and Don. I called them Ike's boys. I couldn't call them the Everly brothers. But anyway, Travis used to watch Mose play at the company store, and he'd do that, sing that boom chuck, boom chuck, boom chuck, and then he'd. It's just real. And what the style is, Travis was too shy to ask him, but he saw what he'd do, and he'd go back and try to figure it out and make up his own way of doing that.
Yeah.
Then Travis wound up playing the songs of the day and a little more than just accompanying himself. But there's something in the water back there in Muhlenberg County, because you had John Prine came from there, the Everly brothers, Travis, Mose, they picked this way. And it's basically, it's kind of like what we know today as the thumb and rotating bass style like Chet brought. But let's take it right at the core of Travis. What he did is, instead of playing like this,
And you're using the thumb pick.
Using a thumb pick, you can use a bare thumb. That sounds good too. But you get more articulate with a thumb pick. I can anyway. Maybe there's no law that says you have to wear a thumb pick, by the way. But there is a law in this Travis picking stuff where you, what they call in Muhlenberg County, choking the strings. And it's just muting, laying this part of your, fatty part of your hand on the string. So they're muted. And that Travis style didn't alternate the bass. I mean, it did at times, but it was basically boom, chuck. And they would strum it clear down to the, Travis used to hit that E string sometime when he'd strum it. So it'd be boom.
And you're hitting the two lowest strings. You're hitting 6th and 5th string.
I actually am.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's just this one. Travis used to hit them both, like, and it just gives more power.
Yeah.
Like just fella that I ever seen, long lost John from Bowling Green. Just boom chuck, boom chuck. And every once in a while, just Travis used one finger. He used to put these 3 here. I figured I got more fingers, and I'm not Travis, so I'll use however many I want. But the original style was done with just the thumb choking that bass. Most important part, that thumb never lets up for any reason. No reason lets up. It just keeps going. And you never play a bar chord in the Travis sort of a style. The reason, you can't play behind the bar. So what Travis would do is you take like a regular G chord like this, and then he would add this finger and this one, and then now it's the same as this.
Right.
But now you can go.
Right. Now, I always could never do that in my hands. I guess my hands just aren't
It's
big enough to.
Well, it's part of. I'll give a little plug to this Martin guitar. This is the D28M, the new D28M Merle Travis model Martin. It's taken after the original. It has a Bigsby neck. This is the neck Fender copied. It's not vice versa. And it's the only neck that's a maple neck that the Martin company has, and all the machine heads are all on one side.
Yeah.
And quick story, I'm full of stories. It's hard to stop me on this. I asked Travis one time, I said, what is the reason? Because he drew this out on a back of a placemat in a restaurant to have Paul Bigsby build that solid body.
He drew this shape.
Yeah.
Yep.
And originally, I think it came up like a fiddle.
Oh,
and then
okay.
he would hit his knuckle on that. He said, no, that wouldn't work on the mock-up they had.
Yeah.
Bend it down, so it went down like this. But Travis says, here's my genius behind that. If you lay a guitar on your lap and you go to change the strings, you got 3 of them that you change perfectly. Then he says, you got to contort yourself
That's right.
to do the other 3.
Yeah.
He says, my way of thinking, if you put it down, all 6 of them are in the row, all 6 strings are straight and not branching off, less likely to break, more sustain.
That makes sense.
That's the genius, he said, behind it. So it's very interesting. But the chord shapes that Travis used are really unique. A lot of them have this neck is 1 11/16 right here. So
that's pretty thin.
Yes, it is, because you've got chords like this. You're playing like it.
Yeah, I couldn't even do
Here,
that.
look where they are. It's like. Now hit these two. Both of them. So if you had a big wide neck, unless you're Tal Farlow with those big long fingers, you're not going to get it.
No.
So that's an interesting Travis chord. Here, seventh. You take like a D7th here, you know. Travis would hit both of these strings, the D string and the G string, with the one finger, and then put the thumb over here.
So you get kind of a D9 for that sharp bass.
Interesting bunch of chords. It's funny, I had a heck of a time trying to hold these two strings down at once. Travis sometimes would, if he needed this finger, he would hold in a G position like we were doing here a minute ago. He would hold these two strings down with this third finger. Like that.
Yeah.
That way he'd have this one free and this one.
Yeah.
I was never good at holding those two down. But a lot of interesting chords, like a C9th. Instead of doing like this, Travis did it this way.
Oh, okay. Now that one I can see. Yeah. I still can't do it.
Yeah. But that original style is really, it had a lot of soul, a lot of guts, because there was a lot of black influence. And it's all about that groove. To me, it's all about groove.
About the groove, yeah.
You know, you can play a lot of notes and a million chords and all of that, and all the guitar players will salute you and be excited.
Yeah.
But the people get moved by a groove.
Yeah.
Something that just gets in there, and that groove, to me, that's the whole thing. Now, that being said, see, it's rotating, but I'm picking up. Now, Chet heard Travis on the radio. And I can't tell a story unless I do the voices. I'm sorry, that's the way I am. If I did my Merle Travis voice, if he was here tonight, it'd sound exactly like this. And Chet talked like this, don't you know? And he'd always kind of take a breath while he's talking. And he told me one time, he says, I heard Travis on the radio first time, and I thought it was a group. I thought there was more than one, because I could hear a bass player and rhythm player and a guy playing the melody. I thought maybe there were three of them, and at times I thought, no, maybe it's just two guys there. And it turned out, when I got to see him, it was one person. Travis and Chet said, that astounded me.
Yeah.
He says, I'm so thrilled. That's when I got my thumb pick. He says, I was so thrilled Travis got drafted into the Army, because he said, I would have just been in the Marines. Sorry, mistake. He said, I just turned out to be a carbon copy. But he couldn't hear Travis, because Travis was no longer on the radio, he was in the Marine Corps. And Chet knew it was done this way, you know. But with Chet, it was articulated, and you had these two notes, still choking it or muting it up here, like, but tick, doom. That was his afterbeat, where Travis was strummed down. Big strums. Chet was. And Chet was, the way he heard, it was so incredible. He'd hear these, he just heard it. I mean, you can't teach somebody to hear something like Chet just would hear these, be playing something and he could hear a note really wants to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you say, what chord is that? I don't know, it's this one, you bring that finger down one. I guess John Knowles tell you what the name of it is, but he says
That's true.
but it's that, particular note. So Chet was very, very articulate, and that's what, when I grew up, I would get, I was never one to try to learn anything note for note.
Mm-hmm.
Travis wouldn't show me anything when I was a kid. He'd just come over and watch and laugh, And in later years, I'd say...
But you played with him later on.
Yeah, well, I used to say, Travis, what'd you do here? It don't make no difference what I did. What you're doing is great. I just love what you're doing. He just wouldn't show me anything. Later on, when I was in my 20s, people thought we should do some shows together. And he says, I guess I got to show you a couple things I did. Otherwise, my harmony part won't work.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when Travis actually got me and showed me things that he was doing. I said, oh, really? That's hard. Well, now, you get used to it,
So you basically just kind of heard the sound and then tried to recreate it on your own.
Yeah, I would play, like I'd get a Chet record, or Travis, because Chet came out with a new record. He was the head of RCA.
Mm-hmm.
Had a new one come out about every 2 months.
Yeah.
New album,
Yeah.
And I would just get it, and I'd find my favorite cuts, and I'd listen to it over and over, and I'd have it in my head.
Yeah.
I could be sitting at school,
Mm-hmm.
hearing that song in my head. All I needed was the guitar, because I could hear it. I just had to find where everything was.
Yeah.
And it's funny, some magazine, one of the guitar magazines, asked me why I chose guitar. I said, I didn't choose guitar. I had a guitar gene in me. That's what I had.
Yeah.
Because I most likely would have gone with a keyboard or something, really, honestly, because when MIDI guitars came out, I was one of the first ones on that.
Yeah.
I did the first MIDI album in the 80s that every instrument you hear was controlled with a MIDI guitar.
Yeah.
And in those days, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It's not perfect
Couldn't
now.
track
But
and
it was terrible.
Yeah.
But it took a couple years to get that album done, but it finally got done. And it gave me a chance to play keyboards.
Yeah.
Because my mom played some piano, but it wasn't enough to she wasn't like a player where she could teach me anything. And guitar, I could not keep my hands off a guitar since I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis said, you just have that guitar gene. And I guess it was, because I never had to learn this. Had to learn these, but this side, Travis used to get a kick. He'd point, people tell me, he says, Travis, always when you were a kid, 6, 7 years old, messing with that guitar, he says, watch that thumb, look at it. He don't let up at all. And I don't. It's just, and then the Chet deal being so articulate, I love the chord things and Chet's articulation, so that became a part of my playing.
Part of your playing, yeah.
Not trying to be like Chet. I'm not trying to play like Chet. And I'm not, at times I try to play like Travis because I'll be doing some kind of a show that makes me, that's Travis oriented. I'm supposed to play like it. But my style itself comes from a lot of things. Jerry Reed was a major influence.
You've played with all of these guys over the years.
Yeah, I started out my head this far from people like Jimmy Bryant, Roy Lanham. Roy Lanham was just an incredible guitarist. Thumbs Carlisle did all that playing with it on his lap, not like what's his name did.
Jeff Healey
Healey, not like Healey, and not like. Are you hip to Rory Hoffman?
Yeah, Rory
Boy,
Hoffman.
he kills me.
I'd love to get him on the show. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, you
Rory
must.
would be great. Yeah.
He's so great. You write in. You want Rory Hoffman.
Rory
Although
Hoffman.
you're not going to learn anything from him, but you will be amazed. But Thumbs Carlisle, the reason they call him Thumbs, he used to lay his guitar like this, and he had a fat boy. He'd take those solos with his hand wrapped around like that with thumb. But also, look at the spread you've got.
Yeah.
And
so
he had
much
all
wire,
these incredible moving chords, open E-flat tuning he used. And I'm right there. People think Ernie Ball is a guitar string or an amp or a guitar. Ernie Ball was my friend.
Yeah.
He was the guy that gave me, my dad wanted me to learn steel guitar. Ernie gave me lessons, $3 for a half-hour lesson. I was 12 years old, I guess. And I played steel, and Ernie taught me. And Ernie is the man that took me down on it. He told me to get dressed up one night. I was about 12, I think, 11 or 12. He says, get dressed up. I'm going to take you to special dinner tonight. Okay. So I got all dressed up, and he took me to the Ambassador Hotel in L.A., and we had this dinner with all these forks. I remember all these forks and stuff. And then we walked through the lobby, and I saw this big stand. It said, for Gretsch guitars, Chet Atkins and Jimmy Webster. Oh, no, I'm going to see Chet. And I was as close to seeing Chet as I am to you.
Yeah.
But I was sitting down here, and Chet, nobody between me and Chet. And that was something. So I got to see how Chet played, but his articulation was great. Jerry Reed
explain
said,
how his
Travis,
style took it a
how do you
different way.
explain? You know, I said to Jerry one time, you're such a great guitar player. He's, no, son, I'm not, see. That's what I'm not. I am, this is his quote, I am a great guitar thinker. He says, all this stuff you guys sit down and figure out is great, but I thought it up. Yeah, from my head, makes me a great guitar thinker, which he was, and he was so brilliant. I mean, when he was doing what he did in the 60s, Jerry used to tell me he loved to go do sessions because he'd look through the glass from in the studio looking into the control room, and he says, it's all faces of guitar players. Grady Martin and this and that. They're all wanting to see what this crazy guy is going to do. He had arthritis in his finger, and he would keep it back. He played this way. This
had that claw.
This was his lead finger,
style,
his middle finger, and he would do things. He'd pull things with this first finger. But that's why they said it looks like he's clawing it, hooking it, you know. It looks like a hook. I never have figured out a Jerry Reed song all the way through. I heard it and I was, what the hell is he doing, you know? I made up songs that sounded like a Jerry Reed song. That way I made them up so it was easy for me to play. But they had the whole soul, see, and the whole essence of Jerry Reed. It was like... I mean, I had things that I wrote. Anyway, it was Jerry Reed-like, you know, but it wasn't Jerry. And years later, when Jerry and I became friends, I would tell him about this, and he would just laugh. And he said, you know what, Bresh? He said, you will never figure out one of my songs. And I said, well, I can play the claw. Well, that's it. That's probably it. And I had that wrong. Jerry had to straighten me out on that. Jerry said, you're like your daddy and like Chet. I'd like to never show Chet how my stuff works. Because you guys work from chord shapes. You're in trouble, son, if you try to do one of my songs from a chord shape. I got a melody line. I got a bass line, usually opposing the melody line. You like find my melody line, find my bass line, and that other one will be in the middle of those two. If you got those two, just grab that third or fourth string. I'm sure that's it, son. And that'll make your chord. It makes all that moving stuff. You can't do it from one of those chord shapes because I don't think that way. I thinks this way. But
like demonstrate that.
I can't play a Jerry Reed song.
Well, you were doing that.
Oh well.
Where you were doing it.
Yeah, I mean Jerry. So you get that thumb over there because my thumb goes over everything. I can't break my hand of doing that. Or I can't even play that all the way through. But Jerry was something. If you want to hear Jerry Reed stuff played now, Richard Smith, I think, is the
Richard
guy.
Smith, yeah.
Richard Smith will play anything Jerry ever played, and he'll play it perfect.
And he's from England.
Yeah. I always said Richard's one of those extremely gifted people. Has he been on?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you must
I
have
would
Richard
love to have
Smith.
him. Yeah.
He's, I don't know, he was like 12 years old or something the first time Chet had him up on stage to play.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I met Richard, he was about 18, and he used to watch my TV show. I had a Canadian TV show. It was called Nashville Swing, and it showed in England at 3 in the morning, like on a Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad, Richard told me his dad would let him get up and watch my show because I played the style, and he just nuts about guitar. He said, "Would you mind playing that guitar rag?" First time I met him, I said no, and I went. Anyway, I played this song, and I made a mistake in it somehow. I don't remember what I did, but whatever I did, it was a mistake. But it was close enough, you know. It was no big, like, giant mistake. Richard said, "May I try it?" I said, "Well, sure." I handed him the guitar, and he played it back, mistake and all. And I said, "Aha, you're a British droid of some kind, and I'm hip to you." And he just takes things in. It's like he's got, he says he's got like a, you know, like a photographic memory, except photograph in
Or sounds.
yeah, in time and real time. You can see it. He says, "You play it, I've got it. I just got to do it myself, you know."
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's in real time that he plays it back for you.
Wow.
But he's just very, very incredible in any kind of a technique. He'll wear you out with that Django stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He can play those. Nothing is safe in front of Richard. If you play it and he likes it, and he stares at you like this, he's taking it in. He's got it. It's gone. And he's got it. But he can play you anything Jerry Reed ever did. As a matter of fact, on the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, at the Country Music Hall of Fame, we're doing a salute to Jerry Reed.
Yeah.
And, of course, Richard puts it together.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a Jerry Reed fan, that's the place to be at like 1 to 3 or something in the afternoon.
Yeah. Wow.
But he's a guy, you got to get him on here because he's just incredible. But Jerry was all about that. Got to get that, got to have some noise, see, so when you're beating your foot, see, son, yeah. And it's usually done on a nylon string guitar, and you just let them flap.
He would just have to beat that thing to be able to play on a nylon string guitar.
It sounded like it, but he used those little tiny flamenco strings.
It was really tight tension, I would imagine.
Yeah, but they're real thin, too.
Yeah.
And he had them laid down on the neck. He said, "I don't want to push those strings down. I want to go hit a note, go, and here, go, do you." That's what I want, see. I don't want to have to mess with pushing that stuff down, son.
Well, I tell you what, let's play one. We did a radio morning show last Friday on the great WSM, original home of the Grand Ole Opry. We did their morning radio show, and
That was fun, too.
That was a good time. And we played this song, "I'll See You in My Dreams." So I had worked it up, and let's play it.
Cool. Travis always ended with this song. This is a great finger picker song, and it's in the key of C. In case you want to play with it, it starts out F, though.
I'll see you in my dreams. Beautiful.
You know what Travis would say? Don't play on that first part. He used to hate it when people would play rhythm with him.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the whole style. It
Yeah,
defeats the style if you have somebody playing rhythm.
Yeah.
But I make an exception because it is his show.
It is about halfway through. Let's give away something. It's about time we give away something. What are we doing here? Let's give away. Tom did a DVD. This is for Homespun that you did this.
Homespun, yeah. The real Merle Travis guitar.
Real Merle Travis.
Like father, like son.
And this is
like
how,
92 or
yeah.
something like that.
But you
How
teach quite a
young
few
I
of the
was.
songs. Quite a few of his great songs on here.
Yeah, that's a
Guitar
good,
Rag,
that's a
Cannonball
good
Rag.
DVD.
Someone's going to win this. So 90 minutes. This is one of our resources, actually, for this month. Since Tom's here, we thought we'd feature Travis-style picking. So we've got this, and then I've got a book. We'll talk about that later. All right. The winner of this, I'm excited about this. Michael Amoroso. Amoroso Law. You won this. So, Michael, I know Michael. He's one of our good students. In fact, Michael was just in Nashville about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we went and had lunch with Greg Voros. So that's fun that his name was chosen. Anyway, Michael Amoroso, you've got this. Send us in your mailing address at service@legacylearningsystems.com, and we'll get this out to you. That's a lot of fun.
Cool. You'll like this one, Michael.
A lot of fun. I guess while we're here, I might as well talk about that. We had part of the resources for this month are the Travis style resources. Let me throw this down here. We've got this DVD, which is great, and then I've also, this is kind of more intermediate advanced because you teach the full versions of these. This is a lot of good training in the style itself, as well as learning a bunch of great songs. Probably 6 or 8 of them I think you teach on here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them on there, and I tell stories, and I didn't know what to do. Everybody seems to like this thing. I got a write-up one time at one of the reviewers said, even if you don't want to learn to play guitar, it's fun just to hear the guitar playing and the stories. So that made me happy.
Music and tab is in here as well. So you've got everything to learn, everything you need to learn. If you're just interested in the style, but you're not quite sure where to start, I found this book, The Art of Contemporary Travis Picking by Mark Hansen. Kind of a good beginner introduction into this type of picking. So that's on our resources as well. Those two things combined. And then also, we talked about this last week, is guitar cables by our good friends out of George L's. George L's guitar cables. These are the guitar cables I use all the time. Nice little thin cable up at, and George L's is up in Madison, I think.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's right, not too far.
Cable of the Stars.
So there's a thin one that's black. These are great. And then there's a thicker one that's more of a standard guitar feel to it. And that's these are both 15 feet. And they're great. They cost about the same as a regular cable, but the deal is that they'll last you forever. And so I've had mine for, 7 years, and they've been run over by amps and yanked out of guitars 1,000 times. But they still keep going, and I don't have to...
Go ahead. It's not a real cigarette. You can't smoke inside. This is electric cigarette.
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
That's
I smoke the acoustic ones outside. This is the electric one. I just thought while you're talking.
Yeah, might as well. Just relax. Anyway, these are great cables. So it's a great high-quality cable, but you don't have to mortgage your house in order to pay for it. So we have that, and then we have the guitar course as well. So that's some of our resources as well. So before we go on, before we do one more, we're going to show you a quick promo. Let us get some things set here and give us a break for a few seconds, and we will see you in about 1 minute.
Legacy Learning Systems Learn and Master line of courses features an exclusive multimodal learning process to build skills from the ground up. By utilizing 4 modes of learning, reading, listening, watching, and doing, even a complete beginner can follow this easy-to-use program of self-directed study. Building confidence and skills, our system allows the learner to progress through intermediate and advanced levels to full mastery. Each course contains between 12 and 22 DVDs of visual instruction, a full printed workbook, access to our online support community, as well as 3 to 5 audio CDs in our music courses, which include fully produced jam-along tracks. Learn in the privacy of your own home, at your own pace with the Learn and Master family of courses. Bring your dream within reach.
All right, we're back. And I see that many of you are chatting about electric cigarette.
Isn't that funny now? This is a guitar program. They want to learn to play guitars. What are they asking? Is that real smoky smoke? No, it's not. This is an electric cigarette. Diodes on the end. And you blow out water vapor. Mm-hmm. But if you're a smoker, you feel like you're holding a cigarette. You get to blow out smoke. And you can do it in a restaurant anywhere you like. And this is fun too. Do this in front of your friends. Put it in your shirt. Women go, oh no. They jump it. It's a song my dad wrote. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Okay, enough of that.
That's a good song. I remember that song. All right. We're going to ask if you guys have any questions. Now's your chance to ask some questions. We had a couple on the discussion board just to get us started with all of that. Had Gerald asked about the difference, if there is one, between Travis picking, the terms, just terminology, Travis picking, thumb picking, finger style, hybrid picking. Johnny Highland talked about hybrid picking.
I think that hybrid stuff's what he does with all those.
Yeah, chicken picking kind of double
Yeah, he's
stops
got these fingers and that straight pick going.
Yeah.
Thumb picking in the Travis picking is like what we discussed. They also call that thumb picking. Mm-hmm. A lot of the Travis pickers, oh, he's a thumb picker. I'm in the Thumb Pickers Hall of Fame. Yep. So is Chet, so is Reed, yep. Tommy Emmanuel, people. Yeah. Now, finger style is thought of more of where it's lifted and you're playing like James Taylor-ish or that sort of thing. That's more finger picking, or I think Leo Kottke would be considered a finger picker.
Does he use a thumb pick?
Yeah, I think so. Or is
he is such I've never seen him live. I don't know. But he plays so hard. I mean, not hard, but I mean he's aggressive.
Man, it could be. I don't know if he wears a thumb pick or not, but I would call that finger picking.
Yeah.
You call it whatever you'd like. You know, the styles are the styles. I think in my thinking on the whole deal, when I play, my hand is a rhythm section. Mm-hmm. When I first heard Lay Down Sally on the radio, I said, oh, wow, it just turned me on. That. Then the bass came in, and the brushes. So. All I'm doing is boom chuck, boom chuck.
Yeah.
Then this is pulling on those.
Pull 'em up.
I don't know, it's just a groove. When I heard that, I just loved that. That became a very big part of my rhythmic style. Playing that was always kind of that feel in there. I'm not thinking in terms of boom chuck, or trying to figure out which notes to articulate. It's all about, to me, feel, and it never lets up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, we have a couple of questions up here. One of them, why don't you have the same last name as your dad?
I used my stepdad's name, Bud Bresh, who was a photographer for the studios and all that.
Out in Hollywood, because you grew up out in Hollywood.
I was born in Hollywood. And that, you can't even do that anymore. Everything's politically incorrect, you know. It's a pain in my butt. But because I got there's funny lines that you can't use anymore. Like, and I don't mean to offend anybody. This is funny. People say, where are you from? I said, I was born in Hollywood. It's the only city in the world where the fruit picked the people. But you can't say that anymore. And I don't mean anything by it. It's just funny. Come on. And I was born in Hollywood, and my dad, Bud Bresh, raised me. Travis was always around close. Joe Maphis, they were all friends. My dad and my father, I always considered Travis my father, Bud Bresh, my dad. Bud's the one that whipped my butt when I was out of line and gave up his vacation so I could have a new amplifier. That's a dad, you know. And Travis, I only saw the good side of Travis, and he was always around. He just, but that's the way it is, and that's why he used that name.
Yep.
Besides, trying to be anything junior, Marty Robbins Jr., Ronnie Robbins, or Frank Sinatra Jr., or Tommy Travis or something. Oh, Merle Travis, and he thinks he's Merle. Just Bresh, I can do my own thing, and
be who you are. Yeah.
nobody even knew about it until 1987, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
Kept it under wraps. There's your answer.
What practice techniques to learn the thumb picking? Is there a way to kind of begin to get into that and practice it?
Just grab a chord. Just grab a chord and get this going with a thumb pick. Anything. A is easy because you can go back and forth between your A string and your E string. Just do that.
So you're just doing the top. He's doing the top half of what would be a normal A bar chord.
Yeah, or you do it down here
too. And then you have the open A and you have the open E that you're alternating.
Yeah. And just do this, or if you want to be more Chet like tick, 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 just do that. Then once you get this going, do it all the time. I mean, watch TV and do it. And then try to just add a finger like so. Not those notes, any note you want. You know, like Mary had a little, whatever. I'll tell you something, and don't be discouraged if you can't get it. There's a great jazz guitar player named Howard Roberts.
Yep.
I was asked by Ernie Ball, I was about 13 at this time, he says, Tom, you want to make $20 for half an hour? I said, yeah. What do I have to do? Who do I have to murder? And he says, there's a guy who wants to learn. He already knows how to play guitar. He just wants to learn that thumb style. And he's heard you play. He says, can I get a lesson from him? So I gave this guy a lesson for a half an hour. And we spent about an hour.
You gave Howard Roberts a guitar?
He was Howard Roberts.
My
and
goodness.
everybody said, to him, how was he? I said, he didn't get it. And he just, you know, he doesn't have the technique. I'm sorry. He just, you know, Ernie was getting a kick out of it because Howard could not get it. Boy, he'd do this, try to add a finger, and everything would come to a halt.
Yeah.
He tried everything. And years later, my brother Gene was nuts about Howard Roberts. And we went to a place called Dante's in North Hollywood to hear this guy. And when I walked in, Howard Roberts. Oh, there's the guy I gave lessons to. And Gene says, yeah, right. So I walked over and I said, Howard, Thom Bresh, remember me? I gave you, yeah. And he gave me geez, how do you know him? I said, I tried to teach him to play like this. And then I was blown away by Howard Roberts. His technique is like, oh my God. I told Ernie he couldn't play, and Ernie just kind of laughed. He didn't take it any farther. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people get discouraged with this. They can't do those two things at the same time, but it's, I don't know, it's.
I think what you said about getting the groove of that first, and then just kind of, the idea is that you want that to run in the background, so you can focus on the melody or whatever that you're playing. So a good way to practice that is just to do it a lot. Do it while you're doing something else. Do it while you're trying to read or watch TV or something like that.
Yeah,
the whole idea is just to get that boom, jig, boom as an unconscious background motion.
Yeah, it's hard for me to explain how else to try to do it because I have just always do it. I never try to learn how to do it. It was the other stuff, finding all this.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to try to hunt it all down. And
a good way to practice skills like that you're trying to actually put in in the back of your brain so you can concentrate on other stuff is to be doing it and then try and read something and say the words that you're reading. So it's forcing your mind to be engaged on what you're reading, but it's also which necessarily forces that skill to be put in the background. So that's just a way to practice things like that.
That makes it. I mean, like read anything that's written.
Just read something down because it forces you. You have to read that, but it also, you've got to keep this going in the background.
Huh.
Just a thought.
Well, I'll try it.
I mean, I think I should be learning from you.
No, it's
but
very hard.
You gave Howard Roberts a guitar lesson.
I know it, and he didn't get it either. What other questions we have?
Tom, or
Yes.
Mark
Oh.
Colder is asking, Tom, was there ever a time that you bombed playing live, and how did you recover?
No, I never bomb. Because
Next question.
No, I don't because I was raised as an entertainer. I've been on a stage since I was 3 years old, and I was the token little cute kid when I was 3 with a out of tune, totally loosened up ukulele and my little cowboy outfit with a Hank Penny band, and I knew all the breaks and all the things. And they put me up on this little stool thing so I could reach the mic, and I'd sing "Your Cheating Heart." I started playing Las Vegas when I was 15 and a half.
Yeah.
I learned from Sammy Davis Jr. and Bobby Darin and some of the Red Skelton and some of the greats of all times. I went to school, so to speak.
Yeah.
I am an entertainer. So I cannot bomb. You cannot throw me a loop. The sound system can go out. I could care less. I can tap dance. I could do you lots of voices there like Archie Bunker there or Fred G. Sanford. Make no difference. Go ahead, dummy. Tell him something else. I can't bomb. Sometimes, you hit a bad lick. I don't care. If the groove's there.
If the groove is there.
Here's a
Make
good
it
thing.
easy.
Let me tell you. I warmed up one time. I was playing at a place here in Nashville. I knew Chet was going to come that night. So I played, and I was loosened up. I was at the top of my game. I went out on the stage. The place was packed. Chet was right down front. Everything I went for, I missed. Everything. Not one thing did I hit. I was so upset with myself when I got off the stage. It was all nights.
Yeah.
And I'm playing it backstage before the show, 2 hours before the show. Mm-hmm. Here comes Chet backstage making his way back to me, and I'm thinking, oh, God. Chet came up and says, I've never heard you play better. That thumb of yours, boy, it's just unbelievable. You're sure great, Tom. I said, oh, thanks, Chet. Oh, thanks, Chet. That's all I get. I'm Chet Atkins. I don't give out compliments very easily. I said, Chet, I missed everything I went for. You made me nervous out there. Oh, did you? I need to tell you this little secret because I used to beat myself up too. He says, I heard you play what you played. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what you were trying to play.
That's right. That's right.
I only know what you played, and that was great because you're very percussive anyway. So if you were trying to go, and you went, or whatever,
Yeah.
still in a groove and
Yeah.
went right along. Chet says, I had no idea that you were
Yeah.
worried about what you played. So that's something you might think of too. When you
great
think
advice.
you played a little off sometime and everybody said, oh, that was great, probably was to them because they don't know what you were trying to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Exactly right.
there's your answer to that. Long answers I have.
Here's a question. Hey, Tom, I just saw, this is from Endert Brothers. Hey, Tom, I just saw a YouTube video with you and this wild-looking double-necked guitar. Please tell us about that
My
guitar.
dualette. I had
That's
two of them
by
made.
Lang Jans, or
Huh?
Who makes that later?
Del Langyons made that, both of them. I have two. The original was a steel string on one side, you turn it over, and the other side is a nylon string. That original I played for years. It's great. As a matter of fact, when I got the idea from Favino, a great French luthier. He had a small, like a concert-sized guitar. He says, this is how I make my steel string. Then he turned it around, this is how I make my nylon string. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, boy, that's cool. You put that thing, you wouldn't have to carry two guitars. Laziness, as far as I was concerned, in thinking about it. One guitar, plus it would be a real showpiece.
Yeah.
So I asked if I could shoot pictures. No, you cannot shoot. You cannot do. I don't sell. Oh God! So I just shot some pictures from afar, video, and somebody turned it, and I said to Del Langyons, who I've played his guitars the longest, 35, 36 years now. I've played his guitars, Holland, Michigan, and I talked to Del. I said, I want you to make me a guitar. There's a guitar on both sides. Oh, okay, Tom. He always just laughs at me whenever I say anything. Come to find out, I said, I'll send you some pictures and video. He says, I'm really loaded right now. It'll be about a year maybe. I said, no hurry. Just sometime try it, see what you think about that. About 2 months later, he called me and says, this thing's incredible. What kind of pickups you want in it?
Wow.
He made it, and we put
It's
the
beautiful. I
original
wanna see
had
it.
bags in it. And we had more trouble with the pickups because they're two separate pickup systems going out of one hole. So you have two batteries feeding into one hole, which feeds into the other one. They were throwing fits there at the beginning. Lloyd was going nuts with his people. because one battery would burn out the other battery on the other side. They isolated that. I changed the tone on the steel string side. Nylon string side would go crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, I played that guitar for like, I don't know, 10, 12 years. And then Del and I were talking. He says, I think it's time for a new duet. I've really come in and honed that thing in. I said, yeah, let's make the super duet. And I play that, except my front pickup is out. You say, well, why don't you just put it in a preamp, I think. This super duet's got a steel string on one side, turn it over, and it's whatever I want it to be. Has interchangeable nuts. It is braced to put barbed wire if I want to put it on there. Yeah,
Really?
Right now it's a baritone.
Wow.
B to B.
Yeah.
So when you turn it over, it's a major sound difference. It has 2 RMC synth pickup systems in it. So I can hit all the Roland synth gear from either side, which was stupid on my part because it weighs a ton, you know. It's just about the middle of the show, my lower back, I'm starting to do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it has mercury switching. You don't have to turn it off. It's got a mercury switch inside. When I turn the guitar over, that mercury switch drops, the other side's hot. So right now
Very
it's getting
smart.
fixed, right? I have it here tonight so you can see it. Because it's an incredible feeling guitar and an incredible sounding guitar.
Very smart.
So thank you for asking about the Super Duet.
How
You
do-
can hear it on Bresh Digital TV, by the way. Just put in Aphex, Aphex, my Aphex box.
Yeah.
I show the Aphex, and I play both sides of it.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I saw that on your
Yeah.
website. Website is bresh.com
Yep.
or breshman.com.
Yeah, Bresh.com takes you to wherever.
Yeah. And so
And YouTube/Bresh Digital TV.
great videos. I spent a long time watching YouTube, a little bit longer than I probably should have.
Do we have time to tell them a quick Noki story?
Yes, yes.
Noki Edwards, lead guitar player with the Ventures. You can see a lot of him and me on Bresh Digital TV. He loves jokes, and he called before this show.
Yeah,
he's always calling. He'll call just before he gets on a plane. Hey, Bresh, listen to this. He called. I won't tell you the one he told today because the other one is quicker. He says, Bresh, we're in the studio, and we're trying to cut that song, Andy. He says, do you know the words? We're all hung up on the words. I said, no, I don't even know what you know it. Everybody knows it. I said, I don't know it, Noki. He's the only words we got, and he walks with me, and he talks with me. I said, oh, God. He says, I'll see you, and he hangs up. But Noki he's so great. He's got the best chops.
Yeah.
He's 77 now. He just doesn't let up. He just plays. Out
Yeah.
with the Ventures all the time.
Wow.
Yes.
We are on the home stretch. Let's give away one more thing.
Oh, boy, you're going to give away something else.
The guitar course. Let's give away a guitar course. Most everybody's here familiar with it. Someone's going to win the guitar course, and I'm not sure who that is. Let me see if it's coming up on my screen here. The winner of the guitar course is Silver Eagles. Silver Eagles, you have just won yourself Learn to Master Guitar, and if you already have it, then give it to somebody. Help them learn how to play. Had one question here I wanted to come back to. Gary Hux says, do you ever have a problem with hand pain?
Hand pain?
Hand pain, just from your
No,
aggressive
you know, I did 5 or 6 years ago, because I make films and things, and when I get editing, even when I'm recording, everything's now on a computer, so it's constantly, and boy, my hands were getting where I couldn't even close, and I thought, oh, I've got the, everybody said, you have the carpal tunnel.
Carpal tunnel.
And like most men, I'm allergic to doctors unless something breaks and you have to take me in there. And everything was really stiff. This finger, this hand, I couldn't close this finger. And all of a sudden, it just, I could close it after play for about 10 minutes, then finally it would loosen up. Now this quit, and this finger just went back to normal. So yes, I have, but then it all went away. So
You know, I had the same thing. This is, probably about a year ago. I was doing a lot of work. We were making a course at that time, and I was on the computer all the time. And I started to have a problem. I forget which hand it was, but I couldn't lift my hand above a certain point. Like if I was raising my hand, and just hurt. And I hear you're a guitar player, and you have fears of the end.
now John Knowles, Dr. John Knowles, CGP. He does this. He showed me this. This is great. Before you're going to play, about a minute before, he just does this.
Just shake it out.
just shakes every which direction. And boy, you just get everything, it just take off with it. It's like you've been warming up. He does that for about a minute. And, I said, do your shakes. Oh, yeah, and I start shaking them.
And John's here in town.
Yes, you need to have him on.
Well,
he is the man that Chet would call for a question.
Wow.
Chet said John Knowles he's the answer man. I asked John. As a matter of fact, I always told John I like Chet's playing in the older days before he started playing like you, John. He did. When he got the nylon, he started to play everything like John Knowles. John is so perfect, and he's a teacher. He's a doctor of physics.
Really?
Yes, Dr. John Knowles, and he's the first CGP, certified guitar player, that Chet gave out.
Yes.
Was to John.
Yeah.
Chet will call John and say, I don't know about this. And John says, let me think about it. Chet, if you do that tune your B string down a half a step. You'll have to learn that other part, but then the rest of it will flow. Little things like that Chet said, I never thought of that. So.
All right. We are on the home stretch. Let's do a couple of last-minute announcements. Then I want to play one more, and we've got a guitar we need to give away as well.
Oh, yeah, give away that guitar.
If you are on our news... Feel free.
Thank you.
If you are on our newsletter list, Fabian, maybe you can put up our newsletter link. The newsletters came out this morning, so if you're 6 in the morning, that should have landed in your email box, our monthly newsletter. And so we've got all kinds of things in there. I gave a video in there. We have the resources sale as part of that, and all the lessons that we're offering on Gibson.com. So the lesson I did was about taking your picking to the next level, more of a flat picking sort of a thing. Our student of the month is Dan Brown. So Dan, it was good to get to know you in the newsletter. Thank you for being our student of the month. I hope the paparazzi don't bother you too much now that you are officially famous.
Oh, they will.
Our next live lesson is on April 24th, which is just going to be an open talk. And I thought we would also start talking a little bit about Travis picking and just kind of, I'll give you some exercises and things we can call learn together. See if we can, I'd call it Travis picking boot camp. So we're going to try to do that on April 24th. In May, our special guest is, very thrilled about this, just many years ago when I was first kind of getting into fingerstyle, I had come across a French guitarist, Pierre Bensoussan. Do you know Pierre? And I just thought, every now and then I just kind of check around on websites and see who's going to be in Nashville. Well, he's going to be close, and I did a Hail Mary, and I sent off an email, didn't think anything was going to come of it. Anyway, turns out he ended up booking a concert here in Nashville, so he's going to be our special guest on next month. So that is
a nice bottle of Bordeaux, Bordeaux wine. You'll be fine. I'll sit here all day with you.
He sent me his new CD, gorgeous, beautiful, kind of, he plays in Dadgad, and it's great. Just gorgeous stuff. So excited about having Pierre here with us. We've got some new lessons on Gibson Skills House that we put up. I put out a lesson of power workout on jazz arpeggios. So check that out. Fabian, maybe you can put up the link for that. We've got 2 songs that some of the guys have taught. Down on the Corner by Creedence Clearwater Revival, and The Kill by 30 Seconds to Mars. I'm not familiar with that one. I probably should be, but and that's that. Okay. We also have a Facebook page. Fabian, maybe you can put up the link to that. If you are a Facebooker, then go to Facebook, check out our page. We're constantly posting stuff on there. They posted up our interview for WSM, and then we also had a video of our interview, actually, of us playing.
Really?
So that's up on our Facebook page as well. So
are we friends? We're not friends. I have to go there.
I think I'm your friend.
Is that like a band or fan page?
It may be. It may be.
They got our video up there?
Yeah.
I'd like to see us play.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. All right, that's enough of that stuff. We're gonna let's give away an acoustic guitar. This is the good folks at Epiphone have sent us over this acoustic guitar, and we have there's an amp that goes along with it, and just kind of a great kind of a slimline acoustic guitar. And you want
Is it in tune?
It is in tune. If you want to, you're not plugged in or anything, but you'll be able to.
Yeah, that's nice.
Beautiful,
I like
beautiful. Anyway, someone's about to win this guitar. Are you ready? The winner of this acoustic guitar is High-Tech Redneck.
That. High-Tech Redneck.
High-Tech Redneck. I'll take that from you. High-Tech Redneck, you have just won this guitar. If you want this signed, then let us know. Let us know on the chat here if you want this signed. If not, I don't want to sign things, either me or maybe we can get Tom to sign it if you want, but I don't want to sign something if you don't want it. So anyway, congratulations, High-Tech Redneck. Hey,
High-Tech
this is
Redneck.
always fun as we're closing up here. Everybody go round robin and tell me where you're from. Let's see who's watching the show tonight. Also, thanks to Fabian. We're going to play one more. Tom wanted to play 9-Pound Hammer,
I've played that one before.
and I have not. So we're going
This
to...
will be fun. Make sure I got my...
Thanks to Legacy Learning Systems. Thanks to John and Paul who are helping us out here with doing the tech. Hopefully the tech is working out better. We're testing out some different things with Ustream. Hopefully
Yeah,
we're not having too much.
I have my Garth Brooks microphone on. I swore I would never have one of those stupid things hanging outside my... And here I am.
And here we are. I'm sorry.
You
I'm
didn't
sorry.
mention George and Ringo over there on the lights.
That's right. Hey, I would encourage you to learn something new. You know, this is a style that some of you may not be familiar with. Take some of these ideas. Get these resources if that's of interest to you. Practice that. See if you can get that down. See if you can get that technique down. It's always good to stretch yourself, push yourself beyond what you think that you're familiar with, and to try and learn something new.
Yeah, and it goes a long way. You know, it goes from that Travis style through Chet, through Jerry, and all the way up. If you're a Tommy Emmanuel freak, it's all based off of that same style.
Yeah.
It's a lot more chords and quicker right hand, but it's all the same thing. It all comes right back down to that.
Tom, it has been a joy having you here.
My
with us,
pleasure.
and getting to know you over the last few days, and getting to be in our little world with our family.
Yeah.
And thanks for taking out of your schedule to be here.
Oh, this is great. This is great, and thanks for tuning in.
All right, 9-Pound Hammer.
Roll on, Buddy. You know, Buddy was a mule. The guy's talking to his mule. Oh. Roll on, Buddy. Don't you roll so slow. Tell me, how can I roll? Smart Alec. When the wheels won't go, I'll do a Travis intro here. Well, 9-pound hammer, it's a little too heavy for my size, for my size. I'm going on a mountain, gonna see my baby. I ain't coming back, no, I ain't coming back. So won't you roll on, buddy, for your load of coal. How can I pull when the wheels won't go? Yeah, roll on, buddy, for your load of coal. How can I pull when the wheels won't roll? It's all yours, sir. It's a long way to Harlan. It's a long way to Hazard. Just to get a little brew. Or to get a little brew. Yeah, now when I'm long, long gone, they can make my tombstone out of number 9 coal. Out of number 9 coal. I'll pick you one like Merle now. Yeah. Take that back. You want another one? my size.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.